Morning, YouTube. I cannot believe I finally worked up the courage to come back and, just record myself and edit and put it out there like I was doing how many weeks ago. This is the thing about starting something, taking a break, and then trying to get back into it. I kept on procrastinating, but enough of all that. I am back. How are you all? I hope you're all doing well. I did not intentionally, wanted to stay away for so long. It's just life happens. Life was just lifing. I know my last video was just talking about the whole redundancy crap thing and everything. So, just a bit of an update or recent happenings, and then leading to the update. So after the last video, a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine and a colleague at where I used to work, handed in her resignation. She was leaving. Another person that I used to sit with and I got along well with was also going. My manager was going. The office it just felt really empty and really lonely. And I am quite okay in my own company. I don't mind that. I can stay on my own and do certain things on my own. But when it comes to, if you're stuck, because like I said, this field I found myself in, I have been there for about, I want to say, just over a year. So I'm still fairly new. And I just wasn't comfortable walking up to anyone, for guidance. And the people that I felt comfortable speaking to, and just having a banter, a laugh with, they were all going. After I think I had my, what was it called now? Not the meeting. There was another, I've forgotten the name of the meeting during the redundancy process, where I was told I needed to work 8 weeks, about 2 months or something. And like I said, everyone had handed in their notice. They were I think they had to work about 3 weeks or a month or something, and they were all going to work from home. I was still expected to come into the office and yada yada yada, and I just couldn't. My spirit, soul, mind, body wasn't there anymore. I was just in a very dark place. So I spoke to my GP about it, got myself a sick note, handed it in, and I just started thinking, what next? What am I going to do? I was depressed because I just felt, oh God, I'm old. I'm not old. I'm 45. I'm not old, but I'm not exactly a spring chicken. And with all these youngsters everywhere that can they pick up things like that, type at the speed of lightning. And I just felt so discouraged, like, God, am I going to get something? Will somebody else hire me? And then I decided to, focus on some videos I came across on TikTok, talking about producing digital products and how so many people had even quit their regular 9 to 5 and yada yada yada. So I started joining people's lives. They were quite interesting. Teaching us the basics on creating some digital products and selling it. And I thought, okay, let's give this a go. What did I do? I got myself an Etsy shop, signed up to 1 or 2 systems that would help produce these digital products. But I just took a step back and I was like, honestly, I was speaking to myself like, are you honestly going to make a living this way? I sell here and there online, I must have shared this in earlier videos. I do sell on eBay. I do sell on Vinted. So I know it's possible. But this whole digital product, especially like the videos I watched, they were teaching us how to make like t-shirts and mugs and, oh, Father's Day is coming, create this AI image and jazz it up with all these wonderful stones. And when they're creating it, it looks so beautiful and everything. But then you go on to Etsy for the cost. For me, I just found the cost, because you create the product. There's another website that has the hard copy, but plain blank canvas, and then you kind of like upload your design on that product, but then they're charging you for their product, and they would manually like print it and send it when somebody buys, and people are cashing in and making money. But as a beginner trying to find your feet, I just asked myself, how long is this going to take? So I gave up that idea. There was a vacancy that came up at my former place. I decided to apply. Within 2 days, I got a call to say you were not successful. And I still remember that day. I was just lying down on my bed. The children had gone to school. The house was eerily quiet. And I was like, God, what's going to happen to me? What is going to happen to me? People, I kid you not, the next call that came, this was from a recruitment agency. And this was on a Thursday. And they were like, have you got availability? We've got this post open. It was something that I used to do before I moved over, decided to switch careers. So have you got availability? I've got this company. They're looking for this person and they want the person to start on Monday. I'm like, what? I said, yeah. I am free. I, told them about my situation. I said, look, in 2 months or whatever, I will be done, but I've got a sick note to cover me. I'm not going into the office. I might as well turn my attention to something else. And they said, okay, fine. We're going to arrange a short interview. I jumped up immediately, washed my face, applied very light makeup, tried to make myself look a little bit presentable. I had the meeting at 2:00. And I was taken on the spot, people. It was a temporal contract. I think it was initially 6 to 8 weeks, they said. And to start on Monday. So I had to start sending in paperwork to the recruitment agency, passports, my information for DBS checks and all that. Everything came, checked out fine. And Monday I was driving to another office to start work, and I was like, God, what is going on? I was just on my bed lying down crying, wondering, am I ever going to be hired again? I get that this is only 6 to 8 weeks, but is this how quick you answer people's prayers? Anyway, got there, a similar field, similar industry to where I'm coming from, but this is a much smaller organization, But saying that, one interesting thing, because this particular organization, their founders are my color. Got into the office, and about, I want to say, 85 to 90% look like me. I'm like, in England, here, never, apart from Nigerian High Commission, I've never been to an office where, they are predominantly my color. So, the manager, took me around, introduced me to everyone, got settled in, told me, the last person that was doing what I was going to do just left. And just showed me what I needed to do, because it was something I had done before. I didn't struggle. I just needed to understand the system, and I just slid into it. So I had my job running at my previous place, and then I was working as a contractor here. And what I was offered at this place where I was contracting is what I would have made in my former place if I went the next step up. So, but then I was earning two salaries. And I'm like, God Almighty, what is this? Really? So I did that. You remember it was 6 to 8 weeks. And then I started enjoying it. The only minus, if I were to give this place a minus, is I have to be in the office more. So with the previous place, you're in the office twice. Here, you're in the office 4 times and then 1 day from home. And that's the only thing. And then the commute. So it's towards city center and I drive with traffic. So on a bad day, my God, it could take like an hour to walk and an hour back. But saying that, it just feels nice. It feels nice. I'm myself. I'm not tiptoeing, around anyone. I could eat whatever I wanted to eat. My previous place, most times I got salads because I just didn't want anyone looking at me funny when I heated up my jollof rice or my beans and stew or whatever. So yeah, but yeah, I like slid in. I slid in. The first 4 weeks came. My sick note was up. Went back to my GP and I was like, can you please extend it? At the same time, from the previous place, I was being hounded with calls. In their own words, they needed to do like some sort of welfare check on me because I said I was off sick due to stress or whatever. And I said, look, I've got family. I'm okay. Don't worry about it. I'm okay. But they kept on calling and calling. I just found that really annoying. So annoying. So I got the second sick note, and that second sick note was to tidy me for a month, and then that's me. I would have been done with the previous place. When I handed it in, I don't think they liked it very much. I don't think they liked it very much. They were like, you know what? Fine. We're just going to bring your exit date forward. So rather than you work a month again, I think they now terminated. Say I handed it in on a Monday, they brought my exit date to the Friday of that week, which to be honest, it was fine by me. It was going to end at some point anyway. Was this going to affect my redundancy pay? Absolutely not. So I took it. But then I had gotten because, with this, with the contract job being agency, I was being paid weekly. And for those of you who know how agency works operates, you don't get holiday pay, you don't get sick pay. What else? No holiday, no sick. What else? But you're paid a bit more, So when I started getting those weekly checks, and then I got my salary from my previous place, I was like, how does one go from zero to all this? I have never, ever in my life earned that amount of money before. I was just so grateful to God. Really grateful to God. It could not have come at a better time for me. My son was graduating from high school. He needed to go to prom. He needed to buy himself a suit. These suits these days, everything has gone up. Suits these days are so expensive. Shoes and all that, and just preparing for prom. I had some bills that, and credit cards that just needed not just the minimum payment, but a big chunk of payment going towards it. And, I found myself in a situation where I was able to do that. From thinking, oh my God, do I start, what is going to happen to me? Who's going to hire this 45-year-old woman to, should I sell on Etsy? To suddenly, boom, abundance. It can only be God. It can only be God. Anyway, my previous place, that was it. Friday came and went, and that was it. I think they sent me a card and some flowers in the post, and that was it. And then with this place, they then hired a new manager, because the manager I met for my team was also a contractor. He was on his way out. They hired someone. I get along with this person well. And I spoke to him. I said, look, I don't know what my future is going to be here. And he told me that they were actually thinking about making this post permanent. If I was interested. I said, yeah, I am interested. And he was like, look, I've worked with you for a couple of weeks now. I do like your style of working. I think you'll be a good fit for the team. More or less saying, just encouraging me to give it a go. I've heard these things before. I said, I will give it a go. When they opened up the vacancy, it was external. Remember, I said it's a small company, so they just could not focus on it being internal. So I get that. A lot of applications came in, and I was like, gosh. When I asked him, how many applications have you received? He said, well, over 100. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my God. But, I just said, look, I've got an advantage because I'm already doing this. I know the systems. I'm starting to know the people, and I can only give it my best. Interview day came and went. He interviewed me, and one of the big bosses interviewed me. It was nerve-wracking. I hate interviews. Which was another reason why I was so depressed when this redundancy thing came, because I just freak out. I freeze during interviews. It doesn't matter how well I have prepared for it. Once you just ask the first question, I'm like, Anyway, I did not get one question. They tried to give me hints. I think I just had a brain freeze. I just couldn't answer it. Then the manager, I think he was off the next day. When he came back, took me to a room. My heart was going that way, like, oh my God. And he offered me the job, guys. He offered me the job. Sometimes I just feel like I should go to church and share this testimony. Like, this news of redundancy came in March, and we're in what now? This is the 1st of September. I did not stay one day unemployed. If anything, for, I want to say 6 weeks, I was earning 2 salaries. Yes, my tax code changed and they took a chunk of my money and yes, but I still came out okay. And that was one thing that I was really praying to God for, because I was like, yes, I know I'm going to get redundancy pay, but I just did not want to spend that on bills. I didn't know how long it was going to take, for me to be employed again. It would have been nice if I used the redundancy money, settle 1 or 2 credit accounts, just do something nice and then save the rest. There's no harm in having savings. I just did not want to spend it on bills. And you know what? That was exactly what happened. To me. So, I'm working now. Probation here is 6 months. I think it's been about a month now. Time flies. Time really flies, people. It's been about a month since I was offered the job on a permanent basis. And that's it. That's it. So, God has really turned my morning into laughter. And I think maybe because I'm always here like 4 days a week. I come back, I'm tired, and I truly mean to come on air and just like continue with my YouTube, because I do want to grow this channel. For those of you who have stuck around, thank you for sticking. Please continue to subscribe. Continue to like, continue to comment, continue to share. I just want to openly give God all the praise, give him all the thanks, and just say it can only be you. It was only you that did this for me, nobody else. So yeah, that's it. That's what's happened to your girl. That's life. Latest update from me. Well, I did it. I finally did it. I have been procrastinating to make this video for God knows how long, and I've done it. I need to jump off and head into the office. Need to start work early. I've got a lot of things that I was putting off on Friday, because I just, some days you just come to work and you're just feeling a bit bleh. So yeah, I was feeling a bit on Friday. I've got this pain, sciatica it's called. I don't know if anyone has experienced it. It is the pain from hell. I've been dealing with it for about almost 2 weeks now. So yeah, Friday I just couldn't do anything. So I've decided to come in early and just pick up stuff that I couldn't do on Friday, and thought, let me quickly jump on and make this video. So thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to like, comment, share. I will try to be a bit more consistent now that I've taken this step and, come back. And yeah, let me go off now. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.